All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the thealaracanfieldshow, the Awaken to Happiness Now global series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And we have a brand new guest with us today, Simmin Bawa, and she is going to be talking about automatic writing and channeling. So I'm so excited about this topic, and Simmin is wonderful, as you will see during this call, if you don't know her already. And some of what we're going to discuss is that automatic writing and channeling is a technique, or we're going to talk about techniques to get in touch with deceased souls, angels, ascended masters, spirit guides through this process of automatic writing and channeling. And these are guidance that we receive to lead life, to give information about the other world, to get their blessings, and sometimes they even give us healing. We're going to talk about, that many can get in touch with their deceased loved ones to exchange unsaid words or connect with divine energies for divine guidance. And it's so important to be able to do this. So I'm so excited that Simmin is here with us. And for those of you who don't know Simmin, this is the first time she's on our show. I have worked with her personally, and I just absolutely love her. She is a professor and head of Department of Philosophy at Hind College in Mumbai, India. She is the recipient of the Best Teachers Award for 3 consecutive years. She is an avid researcher and academician. Cannot say that word. And she's currently pursuing a PhD course in sexual ethics. So Simmin knows more than 35 modalities of healing and fortune telling. She was born a clairvoyant, clairaudient, and claircognizant, and knew from an early age that she has to contribute spiritually. So she has been a practicing holistic healer from the age of 16 years. And Simmin's specializations are automatic writing and channeling, reading and healing Akashic Records, tarot card reading, candle magic, crystals, graphology, past life regression, crystal ball gazing, numerology, cartomancy, Lenormand Card Reading, Magickal Oils, angel therapy and card reading, runes, tea leaf reading, etc. So many. We couldn't list them all here. She practices and teaches these courses, and she has received light language as a gift from the masters for the good work that's being done through her automatic writing and channeling. And today, Simmin is going to share with us a channeled message, as well as a little bit about light language. Sorry, she's going to share a little bit about light language as well. So we are, looking forward to that. So hold on one second. So yeah, computer issues, but that's okay. So I just want you to warmly join me in welcoming Simmin to the show. Simmin, welcome. So glad you're here.
Thank you so much, Alara, and thank you for that really long introduction. Sometimes I myself forget all the things that I do in life. Yeah. But thank you for this amazing introduction.
You're welcome. And that's the thing, is like you do so much, and so it's hard to remember all the different things, right? And sometimes our focus is on one thing, mostly. So right now we're talking about automatic writing and channeling, which is, I think, so important. And especially working with you, I mean, wow, the messages that we received when I was working with you were exactly what I needed in that moment. And they were so inspiring and so empowering and so spot on. I was like, oh my God, and it was not just fun, but it was like, yeah, really, so much information and love and etc. that I needed at that moment. So thank you again for that. I really appreciate it.
And it's just a process whereby the masters help us to rediscover different parts of ourselves, which sometimes we feel lost. And many a times when there is too much happening, or there is too much information, too many episodes happening in life, that is when we need these kinds of channeled messages and guidances from the divine souls themselves. And more than that, Alara, every time I do a kind of work where I get loved ones meet each other, one in the spirit world, one in this materialistic world, and the kind of joy and this exchange of messages and so much of love and that entire flow, that really makes so much of a difference, and somewhere it's so fulfilling for me. Of course, I'm sure that it is for those loved ones, for them to meet once again. And it's not just doing this, but also teaching this to a lot of people, whereby these kinds of messages and this entire modality which has been in the world for so many years and centuries and millennia, somewhere it just helps me to spread this world and this good work to the world. And especially in these times where I have felt that we actually need to get in touch with our loved ones, all the more because during this entire COVID phase, a lot of people have lost their loved ones. And besides this also, sometimes those last few words that you really want to exchange, that doesn't take place.
Mhm.
So all those unsaid things, so somewhere the entire modality brings all of this together. And I've been so lucky that it started off at a very young age. In fact, I was just 4 years old when I first, for the very very first time, had this kind of an experience, which now when I revisit and I tell myself, wow, I was just 4 years old. And I just we were on a vacation, and my dad had a twin, which I didn't know at the age of 4 years. And I was strolling early morning, walking around the park, and it was really tiny. And somewhere I see a vision of my dad pass by, just a swish. And I turned around and I said, "What happened?" I mean, dad is in his room and he's sleeping and he's chilling. And I go back to him and I don't know why. I asked dad that, "Did you have a brother?" I did not say have. So I said,
Yeah.
"Did you have a brother?" He said, "Yes." And I asked him, "Did you have a twin brother?" At the age of 4 years, we don't understand concepts of twin. And my dad said,
Right.
"Yes." And how did you know? And I was blank. Then I didn't know. But those kinds of episode then started happening so often with me. I just kept on having visions and visions and visions, and I started hearing voices and all. And then I knew that there is something for me to discover. Till at the age of 16, when I finally became, I told myself I must become a healer, and I stepped into the world of healing. And that is when all of this began for me. But my journey in terms of actually doing automatic writing and channeling did not start at that time. It started when I was expecting my son. I have only one son. And it was the most traumatic episode of my life, because I had so many health issues, and there was not a single day that I slept, because there were hormonal issues and there were changes in the body. And nobody believes me, 9 months and 10 days Simmin did not sleep. So what would I do? I would just keep reading. And every time I would go to the bookstore, I would end up becoming, because in those days it was physical books, and my love is still with physical books. There is something about holding books.
I
And
agree.
yeah, and then I would go there and I would just end up picking up books on karma and past life. And one day I went to the bookstore and I picked up this book. This book is called The Laws of the Spirit World. It's by Khurshad Bhavnagri. And this is a book that the author wrote completely entirely through the process of automatic writing. I finished reading the book in 1.5 nights, because that was the kind of time that I had where everybody was asleep. And then I had a calling that this is also for me. But I didn't know, how, when, where, what, why. And that was exactly when unknown people would come up to me, or people who were just mere acquaintances would come up to me and tell me, "Hey, have you read this book? Do you know that there are 5 parts to this book?" And I would be like, "No, I don't know anything about that." And I don't know from where during that phase of pregnancy, somebody gave me volume 1, another gave me volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5. And those volumes are not in circulation, in publication in the world as of now, because it was a private publication somewhere in the 1980s. And I got a hold on all of these books, and the knowledge started coming in. But it was still not the right time for me to get into this particular modality. I think it was in 2016, where one fine day I just developed a backache. And usually I don't have backaches. I can go on with workouts, aerobics and all for like 1.5 2 hours comfortably, and I'm extremely fit. And I had a backache. It was strange. And then the doctor told me 12 days bed rest. How can me being a very hyper person and doing a zillion things at the same time, how could I opt for bed rest? And that is when a lot of friends, in fact, one of them is here, Arzan is here, and he, someone or the other would send me a book or two, and I started reading more about the spirit world. And then finally, after 12 days, I was absolutely fit and fine. There was a purpose why this backache took place. And that also, one of the kinds where I just had to be on bed and just chill and read. And that is when, after the backache, that the process was given to me, that the learnings happened, that the teacher appeared. And after that, I there was no looking back. I think by now I have done more than 3,000 readings for people.
Wow.
And yeah, and I have taught more than 100 people this particular modality. So it started building. But every time I would do the consultation for someone, there would be this kind of an inner calling that, something within me would say, would be like, you are meant to teach this to the world. You're not just meant to do it for people. You have to empower them. And then when the time was right, the masters gave me the attunement process. The masters gave me the way that it has to be done. Then there was level one, and then there was animal level channeling, and then level three and level four, which is now channeling through God's light, which is going to be launched very soon. So there was no looking back. This particular modality is such a beautiful modality, only because there is this entire process wherein, many a times, Alara, we just feel that some being, some entity is communicating with us.
Mhm.
We just we just sometimes go to the church or the temple or the synagogue, and we feel that the divine souls or the divine energies are talking to us, and they are giving us an answer to our questions. It could be during prayer, or a petition. And many a times we just have mental conversations with those who are not with us in this world, who are in the spirit world as of now. So many a times we just want to hear loving messages. Many a times people dream about them, and then they are given the message that feed some people, or donate something in my name, or this is left unsaid, and things like this. So we all have the power to communicate with these loved ones. Now, the automatic writing is basically the art of connecting other intelligences through the process whereby we use a pen and a blank sheet of paper. Our mind is supposed to be in a very, very calm state. There is
Mhm.
complete clarity about, the kind of messages and what is happening around us, and we allow ourselves to be the channel for communication, wherein we have our own higher self communicating with us. We have angels, we have saints, we have ascended masters, we have crossed over souls, and I'm emphasizing on the word crossed over souls. And then we have I channel messages even from star beings and planets and aliens, and the list goes on.
Mhm.
Now it is channeling because somewhere we are using our body as a vehicle to communicate. It appears that everyone in this world, everyone, Alara, we all are capable of sensing beyond these traditional five senses. I mean, it is not just a mother's instinct, but it is something that all of us have within us. And historically, we have a lot of episodes that have been documented. For example, because I happen to be if a professor of philosophy, so I will always give the example of Socrates, where one fine day in the marketplace, the oracle of Delphi sees him, goes up to him, holds his hand, goes down on his feet, and says, "You are the wisest person to have walked on the face of this planet." Socrates says, "No, no, I am illiterate." He says, "No, your words will stay in this world for a long time." And the kind of legacy which Socrates has left behind, and the world actually remembers him till this day. How did the Oracle of Delphi tell him those few things. It was the art of channeling. So, channeling is a universal human experience, though very often it is associated with mysticism or mystical saints. The entire journey from automatic writing to channeling is a very important journey. We perform this journey simultaneously, wherein the automatic writing happens and the channeling allows us to say the things that need to be said. So the masters showed me the guidance and the pathway, and saying that the outcome towards both automatic writing and channeling, the outcome is the same. So what if, because many a times I have had these experiences where I didn't have pen and paper, but I still wanted to channel messages. I just wanted to help certain people whom I met while I was traveling or I was on a vacation. So I did need some of these tools wherein I don't always have to have a pen and paper. I can do it even without it. So many a times, and then many a times I would appeal to masters and saints and say, please give me a parallel process, and that is when the process of channeling was given to me. And I still remember, Lara, when I was traveling from Bangalore to Mumbai, and there was a child that was crying terribly because pitifully rather, because the entire flight was turbulent. And then I started channeling the messages because I was feeling terrible for this child and the mother was feeling so helpless. And then Archangel Michael told me that you just work on your own inner child issue with regard to tears or, crying very bitterly. And I started working on that, and within about 5 or 7 minutes, the baby calmed down. If I didn't have this tool, I think the entire aircraft would have felt very, very disturbed. And the baby
Mhm.
automatically, goes calm and is now in a state of deep sleep, only because I channeled a message and I worked on myself. And in fact, I didn't even know what aspect of me to work on. It was masters who guided me towards it. I also recall this one episode when I had gone to the pediatric ward, where I had gone to see a friend's son who was unwell. And when I went over there, usually children have a very bubbly energy. You
Yeah.
want to be around children, and they in fact fill you up with their energy, which is infectious. Here we had children who were feeling so low, they were feeling very terrible, and I didn't know what to do for them, and I wanted to specifically do something for them. And then finally, yeah, I sat over there and I channeled messages from Mother Mary. And then she and me together, we started giving healings and channeling some messages and some symbols. And within about half an hour, all the children were now sitting, and they were chatting and they were talking, and the entire feeling was so wonderful.
Mm.
And the other
Nice.
episode that happened to me was, I'm a complete jungle baby. I love the forest, and I go for safaris about 3-4 times a year. And one day when I was on my way to a safari, and we were in the deep forest, and it was now evening time, and the gates of the national park were going to be closed, and our driver said, madam, it's going to take us about 40-45 minutes to reach the main gate, and I'm going to drive really fast. We said, okay, fine. He said, hold on to whatever you have. And he started. The moment he started racing, I started looking and getting the visions of all group animal souls, which happened to be the guardians of that jungle, and they started communicating with me. And by the time, and there was so much of magical energy happening, there was the attunement process, and there was so much that was happening which I may never be able to express in words. By the time we reached the main gate, my life had changed, because by that time, now I could channel messages even from the animal kingdom, which is not just animal crossed over souls, but also animal spirit guides, animal angels, and the beautiful Mother Earth. And there are so many benefits to this entire modality. It's such a powerful, amazing tool, because it gives you guidance from the divine. I still remember uh, Tanishk and Tanishq was leaving for Canada, and he came to me, and he was going for good. And he came to me, and we channeled a message for him. He just wanted to be sure that everything's going to be right. And the message that I got was snow safe return. And I couldn't make sense of it. Tanish couldn't make sense of it. And Alara, he went to Canada. There was so much of snowfall. He just
Yeah.
couldn't survive. And he came back safely. And that is how, snow safe return. And somewhere he
Mhm.
was mentally prepared that probably he might not, because coming from a tropical country, settling there would be actually a little difficult. So we are given healing recommendations also. Like when I was working with Suchitra, and her apart and her family owned a building which had about 17 apartments which needed to go for a redevelopment. And then when we channeled messages, because the entire process was not happening, there are legal issues, there are governmental issues, there are so many, there was a lot of paperwork, something or the other just kept on, creating one barricade after another. So when we channeled messages, the masters told her that there were certain ancestral issues, and she was given healing recommendations. And you won't believe it, Alara, within like what 6 weeks the entire process started moving on, and within 6 months everything was in place and the building was down.
Hmm.
Then this
Nice.
particular, yeah, and it's so amazing that they have solutions to every single problem that you are facing. And they will give and teach you healing techniques. Like the attunement process was given to me, and I received the light language, as you mentioned in my introduction. It was a gift given to me by the 17 Buddhist masters when I was doing a lot of healings for people and for Mother Earth in the initial phase of Corona, where it was considered to be this unknown enemy that we were all
Mhm.
battling. So at that point in time, I was working day and night. I was doing so much of work that one day, when this flash of these words came to me, and this language is now a very very integral part of my attunement process. And there are so many healings which I give to people through this, this entire light language that is a gift to me. I know people who have channeled new modalities, they have
Mhm.
channeled oracle cards or something or the other, which just helps more healing and more good work and more spiritual work in the world that we live in currently. Then there is connection with the divine beings. Like Ramesh, believed in Lord Shiva. And when he spoke to Lord Shiva, okay, via me, the the immense joy that he had, it's just any ascended master that you want to connect to. And I
Mhm.
have connected to almost all of them. And when you connect with them and you have, and you've been longing for it, you just want that dark night to end and the union to take place. There is
Mhm.
so much of joy. Besides all the loving messages and guidance, there is a lot of progress which happens in the earthly life. So, like this is one episode which I can never forget. Shucheta, when she met me for the first time, and we channeled messages from her deceased husband and her son, whom she lost when the son was just 4 years old, and she connected to both of them. One day, almost after 8 or 9 months, I had this very very strong message that she needs to reconnect with them. And she lost her son because of a car accident. And it was basically that he was hiding, he was playing hide and seek with his friends, and he was hiding behind a truck,
Mhm.
and the truck moved, and the boy did not know, and he came below the tires of the truck, and he did not survive. And after about when then one day when I got this message that she needs to reconnect with them, and both of them told her they're coming, and after this particular channeling, we will not be communicating with you because both of us are coming. And they said that we are coming around, very much around you and close to you. So she took a pause and she waited, and after 2 weeks her daughter-in-law was confirmed with being, pregnant in her first trimester, and being pregnant with twins.
Oh
But the
wow.
saga, But the saga doesn't end there, Lara. After 4 months, she had a miscarriage of one baby.
Mm.
And that was, and then again, when two of us connected to this soul, and he said that, because I did not, this baby, her own son said this, that because I couldn't experience a proper death, it just suddenly that truck moved over him.
Mhm.
He said, because I did not experience proper death, I needed that, and that is how I came back. And then I was a twin, but now I'm gone, and now it is only that. When she showed me the photograph of this baby and her own husband's black and white photograph, there is so much of similarity.
Mm.
And then,
Wow.
that actually, makes you believe that yes, all of this is true, and they always want to come back to our loved ones. So even, there is so much of progress which takes place spiritually once you are a practitioner yourself. It is connecting lovers, or just being on this particular pathway wherein you and your loved one are together. And many a times our loved ones tell us, how we need to grow spiritually. See, spiritually, we all grow. We all choose, somebody would prefer prayers, and somebody would prefer maybe rituals. But there are many, many a times when you are lost. But your loved ones will tell you what or which technique is it that you have
Mhm.
to follow. It will help one increase their vibrational frequency. See, we all are made up of atoms. Atoms are made up of electrons, protons, and neutrons. And science does confirm that even the atom is nothing but energy. Lord Buddha, he always said that everything around us is energy, even
Mhm.
we are energy. So imagine when you are channeling messages directly from the spiritual masters, obviously your own spiritual vibrational frequency is going to expand. And this I have seen in all my students. They start glowing, they feel calmer, they have developed clairs of so many kinds. And of course, there is the karma clearances also which
Mhm.
take place. Like Ambika lost her brother, and she was in the hospital present, and she was caring for him because they were orphans and they just had each other. And
Mhm.
Ambika, um, was about 4 o'clock when she just dropped off to a sleep. And I think it was about 5:30 or 6 in the morning that the doctors and the nurses started racing, and her brother was declared dead. Ambika lived with this guilt that she went to sleep and she
Mhm.
wasn't there with her brother in those last moments. I cannot tell you, Alara, she was in such a terrible state, miserable, miserable. And that guilt was killing her. When she came to me and we spoke to her brother told her, I died in my sleep. And I had a massive heart attack and I died then and there. So don't feel guilty because I did not even get up. I didn't even ask for you. Do you know what kind of a healing it was for Ambika? What kind of a closure it was for her? Because somewhere she only was dying of this guilt, and here the
Mhm.
brother says, "But I never called out to you. I myself didn't know that my soul had left the body." That night, and she was suffering from insomnia. That night she slept almost after 9 or 10 months. So
Wow.
there is so much that this modality can offer each one of us. And there is this instant, divine connection with our loved ones, with our spiritual masters, cross to the souls, planets, and whatnot. And of course, as I mentioned, that it will develop your clairs. And the best part is all of this is done safely, because safety is one thing. A lot of people say, oh my god, but what will happen? I might get stuck or something might happen to me. Nothing. This is an absolutely safe process, and you are very much awake. You are continuously having a conversation, and we open only the safe pathways. In fact, the attunement given is only to open up these safe pathways. Many a times I've seen healers cannot find solutions to their problems. Probably I've given you Reiki, I've given you Akashic records, I've given you so many things, but nothing seems to be working. What then? because as a healer, I'm a very stubborn healer. I don't leave my people and I never say I can't. There's always something that we can do for them.
Mhm.
So when Zeba came to me, she couldn't sell her house. There was some ancestral remedy which needed to be done, after which the ancestors' energies would leave, and she found this solution. She was herself a very a very good healer. And then we have Ruchi, who wanted to get married, and somehow it wasn't happening, and she went to a zillion healers. Nothing happened, for almost 7 to 8 years. And then when she came to me, Lord Shiva told her, and Archangel Gabriel told her that there was a very small ritual wherein she only had to feed small children chocolates. She did that, and I guess, within only about 2 or 3 months, she met this amazing guy, and then she's now in UK. And in fact, today I told her that she must come for the show. So there are people who come to us for help. And one of the things that I feel is that this modality never leaves you empty handed. It always gives you something, either loving messages or solutions for your life issues. And there is, and sometimes the messages by itself are healing. In fact, on today's call, we have Manik over here, and she's a great friend of mine. And I still remember when Manik communicated with her mother, Manik's last words to me were, Simmin, this is the best healing which I have received in a long, long time. Just knowing that your loved one is safe and sound and is doing well and is overlooking you and your loved ones all the time, from the spirit world to the earthly world. And then there is guidance pertaining to health issues. Like there is my friend Prathama, and her mother was down with cancer, and Lord Ganesha at every stage told her what was to be done, which doctor to opt for, what month, which day the surgery will take place, and that she will come out. And today, Prathama's mother is completely cancer free. And every time I speak to her, she says, "You saved me." And I said, "No, I'm just a channeler. I'm just the medium. The one who saved you was Lord Ganesha." And then we have, guidance coming to us about career blocks. We have, future based guidance in terms of career shifts, moving cities, ailments, personality issues, whatnot. So there is
Yeah.
so much that is there for everyone. And I don't know, maybe there is something which I still haven't discovered, because every time I practice this modality, there is something or the other. The best thing that happened to me through this modality was that now I don't fear that anymore. I'm very attached to my parents, and I used to always fear what will happen to me. When they are no more, I'm going to be in a miserable state. But now somewhere I know that even if they are not here in body, in spirit, they will always be there. And the fact
Exactly.
that many a times we cannot have a good conversation with our loved ones, even when they are with us in the same space at home. But then sometimes when they are in the spirit world, they're far more closer to us than they
Yeah.
have been in that world. So it's just such a fantastic modality that we have. The only thing is, as I was stressing on safety, because a lot of people think that it is mediumship and channeling, but mediumship and channeling are very, very different. Because when you are a medium, you choose to let another spiritual entity take over your consciousness,
Mhm.
your body, your brain. But here, we don't do that. In fact, we go to the spirit world and we just channel the messages, wherein we get it's like, Alara, you came to me, you asked me a question. I took your question and I, posed it to the spirit masters in the spirit world, and they gave me the reply, and that was the exact reply that I gave you. They did not take over my body or
Mhm.
my processes. So, in this, from that point of view, the safety element is very well taken care of through this modality
And I
of
have to
what.
tell you, after that reading, and I told some of my friends, I said, this is the best reading I have had, I think, ever. And I've had a lot of readings, and it's like, this has to be the best reading I've ever had. And I told them, I said, you should book one with, I don't know if they ever did, but I told them, I said, you should book a reading with Simmin. It would be best reading I've ever had, you know,
Thank
and
you.
it's like I was blown away. Yeah, blown away. I mean, so, you know, like I totally highly recommend you all get a reading with Simmin. If you want to train, that's a different story, but at least get a reading. You will be blown away. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I could, like, everything I ever wanted to know. You know, you got me those answers, all those deepest things that I never asked anybody, you know, so just, you know, so to be fair, that the other people didn't know, but the, you know, those things that I was even afraid to ask myself, I asked.
And many a times, even without asking, they will give you a perspective on whatever is just doing rounds in your mind.
Yeah.
So that is so amazing. And sometimes, Alara, not sometimes, many a times people come to me with this big list of questions, and always we let the master speak. And
Yeah.
masters speak continuously for about 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and those people are like, that's it, they have answered everything. How did you know it was there? I said, it's not me. I'm just the medium. I'm just the body. I'm just your channel. All the messages have come from the world of here. I must tell you about Monica. And Monica came to me, and there was, we were, communicating with her mother, and then with Jesus Christ. And then after that, Monica is told by Jesus Christ that do get the black cat. And Monica says, my God, just this morning I had a passing thought that I want a pet which is going to be a black cat. And there Jesus Christ says, please get it. And it was just a thought which she had before she came for the session. So I didn't even read her mind. And, Jesus Christ told her that do get it, because Monica was indeed feeling very, very lonely, and she wanted a companion. And she did not want a human companion, but she just wanted a pet.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's evidential. That's pretty much saying that our guides, our masters are with us all the time, and they know exactly what's going on, and they, sometimes even know our thoughts, that we're having, so that they can, that's proof to say that yes, Jesus is there with you and listening to your thoughts, like, etc. So that's powerful. I love that. Thank you.
So sometimes, no, Alara, people ask me a lot of questions pertaining to this modality, especially the ones who want to learn it or they just want to book a session. One of the questions happens to be, am I disturbing souls? You've been never disturb souls. If they don't want to talk, they will not come. But always, 100% of the times, they are eager to give us messages, and they always come. And they actually, are like, sometimes they are themselves in tears and say, oh my God, I never thought that you would call me or, connect with me. And that, of course, whether the entire process is safe. And I say it's absolutely safe. I've been doing it for such a long time, and I'm absolutely safe and sane. And then, can I get stuck in a trance while doing this? No way, because you are given a pathway to go, and you're given a pathway to come back. Can I cause myself physical harm? In no way. In fact, this is going to help you, it's going to heal you, it's going to increase your vibrational frequency. And will I be able to stop the process if I need to? Absolutely. But once you start the process and the channel messages, you would never want to stop the process. And will I be able to why is it called automatic writing? It's called automatic writing because once your pen is on the paper, the messages automatically flow, and the pen is automatically moving, and that's why it's called as automatic writing. There is no kind of a blankness of the mind, or but many a times we do have different sensory experiences. So there is seeing, there is hearing, there is feeling, there is tasting, there is smelling, and there are, all of your clairs then become very, very active. And a lot of people who are already healers want to know, whether uh, this is going to aid my occult practice in some form. The answer is yes, it is going to, because when you don't have any modality that is working, or you are like me, you have more than 35 modalities which you are practicing, you sometimes feel lost. Which one do I practice, and what
Yeah.
is going to work best? And always, whenever I'm going to work with a person, I always channel and I ask them, tell me, out of everything that I know, how can I best help this person? And when I ask that, I'm always 100% of the time I'm told how best I can help the person.
Mhm.
Because ultimately it's all about helping people. And there is a continuous dialogue which is happening. So at no point in time there is a very uncomfortable silence. The messages are coming, the questions are coming, and that there is a continuous conversation that is flowing between us and the masters. Another very common question asked to me is that, will I be able to communicate in my native language? Well, the answer is that sometimes you can, sometimes you cannot, because this is channeling, and the messages reach me, and my hand is going to write it, and my mouth is going to channel and speak out all these messages. That is when it will come to me in a language that my brain is most fluent with.
For sure.
and
Yeah.
hence and hence, unlike mediumship, wherein you are allowing another spirit to take over your ego, and now that spirit talks, and not just you. So it is not always going to be in that native language which you are most comfortable with. And is there going to be a very altered state of the mind, or can anybody practice this? My answer is everybody can practice this, even if you haven't learned a single modality. In fact, we have Arzan over here, and Arzan learned this as the first modality, no other modality. So I
Mhm.
have a lot of people who will just learn this because they want to get in touch with their loved ones. And they don't want to be healers, they just want all those loving messages. And very soon I have seen that they are giving these messages to their family members and their friends and their colleagues at work, and it's just flowing. And it's such a beautiful modality. In fact, always I tell students who are going to learn this modality that the spirit world, where we finally go and we park our consciousness to get these messages, that world is so beautiful. The kind of colors which you will experience, the way the various planets speak to you, or the star beings speak to you, or aliens speak to you. And here I must tell you that the first time that I had a conversation with stars or the planets, it was not a planet, it was our satellite moon. And I happened to be in this phase of moon because and Alara, and maybe some of you all who are listening to me, that there is astrology,
Mhm.
and under astrology we have something called as Vimshotri Dasha, wherein one particular planet rules for X number of years. And I am currently in the last phase of my moon cycle. And moon is known to make you feel very emotional, and it has been a very emotional journey for me. So one fine day I was just looking at the moon, and I don't know how, I just started channeling messages through the moon. And then I was asking the moon, why did you make me so emotional? Everything was an emotional saga. Then the moon says, are you forgetting, I am the one who gives you intuition? What great intuition have I given you? I mean, you have picked up so many modalities in just a very short span. It's only because of me. Thank me, girl. Thank me. And that is where, then after that, it was the sun, it was Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, and it simply did not stop.
Right.
So you can expand and expand and expand. Always I take all my students to their own personal star galaxy, and I tell them, we are all star beings. So
Mhm.
where are you from? Okay, go get some messages. And they all come back and say, okay, you know what? This is probably my second last earthly birth, or it's my last one, or I have come especially from this planet for so many years to help people, and then I will go back to my star being. And the process of discovery, self introspection, your own journey, getting to know your own self. It is so amazing where you are, what you were. And so many times, Alara, if I have I happen to be a certified past life regression therapist, but I can perform this modality on people. What
Mhm.
about me? Sometimes I don't have any colleague around or anyone, but I want to know about my own past life. Or
Right.
probably there is something happening, I'm feeling a little unwell, or there is a rash on my body. Where is this coming from? The answer says past life. So many a times in this entire state of automatic writing and channeling, I am taken to my past life. Like I am shown. It's like, a movie that is taking place and the reels are running, and it is a theater which I have entered, and then it's just flowing. So many times, I've seen more than about 35 past lives, and one of the strongest one is my Egyptian past life, where I was a very important person to have started candle rituals in the pyramids and the temples which were constructed at that time. So all of this has come to me through my channeling modality.
Mhm.
So from that past life, I was even able to download a number of symbols, a number of spells, and so many things.
So you were
So
able,
this,
so 1 second. So you were able to access that past life through the channeling.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely. It's because
Got
I
it.
went to the masters, and there was and this love of candles at a very young age, and I started earning pocket money very early in life. And as a young girl, we have a lot of dreams, no, and we want to buy branded clothes and makeup. My parents wouldn't give me so much money, and that is how I started making candles, and I was in love with them. And then one day I asked masters, why is it that I love candles so much? And they said, wait, look at this. And we see the entire movie pass by. And
Mm.
again, every time I go up, I don't come back as the same me. And I
Yeah.
think, that is actually very good, because change is the very essence of life.
Yeah.
But as I say, I totally enjoy doing this for others. Like, for you, when we had our own session, that
Mhm.
joy to give to others and give
Absolutely.
everything that they have ever wanted to hear. So it's not always just, one on one. It could be for a group, it could be for a family. So I do all these, family readings also, wherein there are about 5 6 people, and we have sessions booked for all of them. So sometimes the messages are universal, but they are meant for every single person.
Mhm. Beautiful. I love it. So, one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of the call was, if you have a question, type your question in the chat or raise your hand. And I know, Simon, there was a question earlier from Linda, and she was asking, how do you get into that state to open up to the automatic writing? And that's part of the attunement process and part of what you teach in your workshop, in your class, right? So
Yes.
yeah, there's a pathway that you follow.
Yes, and in fact, in the first level itself, no, in fact, level one and level two. Level one is where I teach about connecting to the animal spirit world, and to the angels and the ascended masters and saints and planets and star beings. So there are two attunements which are given, and the
Mhm.
entire process is given. And this is a very special process which was given only to me, because each teacher is given a very unique way. So, we open so many channels, and sometimes it's lakhs of them. And the last 2 batches, 3 batches, 2 or 3 batches, we have had God Himself come down during the attunement process. In fact, I have a
Nice.
couple of students who are here, and there is Shamin, and there is somebody else, Parmita, and I think Chinmay, wherein they are the ones who have experienced it, that God Himself comes down for the attunement, and the vibrational energy is so amazing. I don't want to come out of the attunement. Students don't want to, but hey, the attunement has to end, because there is a wonderful new beginning.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And yeah, and wow, that's powerful. I'm just wondering, so let's talk a little bit. Let's share the special offer so that people can get an idea of the packages. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so give me 1 second. So because we're talking about, the level 1 and level 2, so I want to just share. 1 sec. So share it for people. They can follow along a little bit. And for those of you who are not, on Zoom or like on your phone or whatever, you can't see it, it's alara.at/show/Simmin4. And so again, there's 4 packages that are available. Package A is the one we're talking about right now, level 1, which is the automatic writing and channeling from human and divine spirit world, right? and then the 2 attunements that Simmin was just talking about. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to that?
No. So we have this wonderful session over here, and this is something that you will experience, and we will be together and doing this entire process for about 4 days, and then of course we can have many more practice sessions as well. And this is something that I would say is meant for everyone, and whoever can opt for it, you must, because here there is a modality that directly connects you to your loved ones as well as to the divine souls.
And again, if you can attend live, the recordings will be made available. So 6:30 p.m. IST is 3 p.m. Eastern. No, 9 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central European time. So the time that we are right now, today, this call is that, that's what time the calls will be, right?
Yes.
16th and 19th April. And then package B is level 2. And for this, you need to have level 1, right?
Absolutely.
And this is, again, automatic writing and channeling from animal, soul, and animal angel realm.
Yes. And there are across to animal souls, animal angels, animal spirit guides. And one of the things about this modality is, and especially level 2, is all my students have said it is so much more easier to get messages from level 2 as compared to level 1. And the messages just keep flowing because somewhere we have ourselves evolved through the process of evolution, through this particular animal kingdom. So that is how, because we have already been there, getting all those messages and connecting to them is wonderful. And each animal has such amazing messages, and many a times animals come up and they show up, which are extinct, but hey, they are animal souls and they are animal spirit guides. So this is again a very, very wonderful modality.
Awesome. So you do need a pendulum, blank sheets of paper, a blue pen, and a white candle. And I think that's for both of them, right?
Both of them. Yes.
Yeah. And then package C is the crossover rituals.
Yes. And for this, your prerequisite happens to be that you need to complete level 1 and level 2. And this is where I will be initiating you into the process in case if the human soul is stuck because of suicide or because of a brutal murder or something of the sort, that the soul has not crossed over to the spirit world. So I teach you very, very simple, absolutely safe rituals, which will help you to help them to make this transition towards the white light.
Awesome.
Beautiful modality.
And then package D is the personal automatic writing and channeling session with you for 30 minutes and connecting to 2 spiritual energies. So what does that mean exactly?
So it could be, you can choose between 2 angels or 2 loved ones, human souls who have crossed over, or one crossed over human soul and one ascended master. So, whatever works best for you.
Yeah, awesome. And so those will be available after May 2nd. So there is a bit of a wait, less than a month wait for that. Awesome. Good. And so again, these packages are available at alara.at/show/Simmin4. I'm going to write the link in the chat. 1 second. 1 second. alara.at/show/Simmin4. Okay, perfect. Just so people have it. And of course, with all of these packages, there are 2- and 3-part payment plans available as well. You can use your TACS10 gift code, which is a gift from me as well for each of these packages as well. All right, so amazing. There's just so much to learn, right? To be able to, I remember years ago when I first started off on this journey, I remember somebody told me that, I see you, working with souls to help them cross over. I see you doing that. I was like, no, that's not me. I can't do that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how many things I've resisted that, it's like people have said about that specifically, it's like, no, that's not me. I can't do that. I don't want to do that. That's scary. That was the thing. That's scary because, what have I seen on TV? Scary stuff, right? I was like, I don't want to see scary stuff. So that's one of those blocks of things that stops us from really accessing these beautiful gifts and tools that we can help humanity to feel better, to be more empowered, etc. Not just humanity, but souls who are stuck and not being able to cross over.
Yes.
Right.
So, Alara, should we just give them a little glimpse of how this entire process is going to be?
Yes.
Just a little gift that I want to give to all of you, and these messages are very, very special, and they will also work, and they have a meaning for those who will be listening to the replay in case if they can't be on our live call just now. So may I
Yes,
take
yes,
this
please.
little step? And along with this, I will also want to channel the light language, which is such an integral part of this modality now. So I guess I will first start with the light language and I will flow into the messages. So I have my 17 Buddhist masters with me right now who have given me this beautiful message, and they are saying that they will also help me interpret the light language for everyone. Uama beshu mosi shozoe te meni genisu shemoe te mi kono polae te meni genisu shozi shoma te meni genisu Molae teme keni, mozoe tezi kosho, shemoe teminosi, shezi shemo temeni kenisu, moloe temeneli, mokoe temeni kenisu. Shemae temi kono meli mono te me keli shozoi te shi te se me ki menile te koni sheni su shozoi te koni meni si meni kono te meleni Shemoe te si te honeli, mokoe te meki genisu, sheni te mi kono. The 17 Buddhist masters, through this channeling, say that they have activated your root chakra and your kundalini, because the ones who are listening and will listen are undergoing some kind of physical ailment. And when they listen to this little piece again and again, there will be the activation of their immunity which will take place. So keep listening to it, and you can listen to it many, many times. The 17 Buddhist masters, through this light language, are also telling us that somewhere we walk on the face of this planet with inflated egos. So we need to let go of the ego. The I consciousness has to move on to the we consciousness. And they say that that is the exact reason why the entire world suffered from corona, and now there is war, where we all feel together. We feel the pain of each other. If we just lower our guard of having this I consciousness and transforming it to the we consciousness, the world is going to be a much, much beautiful place. They say that heaven is right here. It's not a place somewhere up there. The place is right here. And it is our responsibility, you, me, and all of us together, to make this world a better place to live in. Peace is something, the seeds of which each one of us need to sow. It is our responsibility. And this is the light language. And just I slip completely, totally, wholly into another modality, into another phase of the channeling and the automatic writing, and my pen is very much over here. And we have Jesus Christ and we have Mother Mary. So we have both of them, and we also have Buddha himself. And Jesus Christ says, the first thing that he says is that you all need to cultivate a lot of love. He says many a times we feel love is just for others, but somewhere we forget that we also have to love ourselves. He says that in the world currently, the one energy, the one healing that all of us need, and without learning any modality, is self love. How nice would it be if we can just give ourselves that little pat, if we can just have a lot of gratitude for ourselves. And he says that our bodies are the ones that are with us and have to become our best friends because we are born with it and we will die with it, just the way it is conscious living and not living life on autopilot mode, because the mind and consciousness just take off on their own journey. He says that it would be so nice if there was complete self love, if we loved every cell in our body, if we only imagine this beautiful pink light transforming every cell in our body, a lot of people would have just found their cure of cancer through self love. And he says that it has happened in the world where a lot of people have then started focusing on themselves. He's asking all of us over here, do we really need to fall sick so that we can love and care for our bodies once again? And especially to all the women out there who always nurture others, but they forget to nurture their own selves. So let's not be unfair to ourselves. And there we have Mother Mary, who joins Jesus Christ in saying that nurture your bodies and your minds as little children. She says that she works with children all the time, and be it prayers or petitions towards of mothers for their babies, and she is the one who works with Archangel Raphael, and she tries to bring about this change in the world. So she says that we all need to work on our own inner child issue. If we only revisit our childhood, we will realize that sometimes we have sowed the seeds of being our own inner critic before we did this and before our parents did this to us. Many a times, just by recalling certain episodes of our childhood, we find very important insights into our current state. She says how nice it would be if we just write down whatever we can recall that has been hurting us for a long, long time. So it could be a little episode which happened to me when I was a little girl or while I was growing up, and then just write it down, because she says that this will serve as catharsis, as letting go. So why don't we just let it flow? Because according to her, and she's showing me a solidified ice cube at the moment, and she says that it's this kind of, the way water freezes and becomes solid. That is exactly what happens to emotions and feelings also, that they get solidified. But don't forget that they, when given a little bit of love and warmth and care, they will melt. So let go and let flow. And this let go and let flow is one of the key messages that Mother Mary wants all of us to pay attention. And then we have our darling Buddha. And Buddha's energies are beautiful. He's full of light, and he says that somewhere, sorry, that somewhere we need to calm down. We need to pause. A lot of us become addicts to working, and one project after another, one job, one episode after another. If we take a little bit of break, we feel guilty. But The mind, the body, the soul, everything needs a break. And in case if you haven't taken a break in a long time, and break always doesn't mean vacation, just pausing and taking a nice deep breath, or just focusing completely into your own being or your breath, even that can serve as a very important pause. And he says we all need this. He says that the mind and our thoughts, all of us have these episodes, he says, wherein the thoughts keep on repeating themselves. At some point in time, can we consciously choose to surrender these thoughts to the divine beings and let these thoughts transform themselves from problems to solutions? Many a times we don't let go. So why don't we release all these worries and thoughts and just accept that many a times we cannot have control over them? So let go and let flow. And all three of them, Jesus Christ, Mother Mary, and Buddha, all of them are emphasizing on nurturing and taking care of our bodies, our minds. Let's become our own doctors. Let's be on this pathway of healing so that we can make the world a better place. And may peace prevail, may love prevail, the seeds of which have to be sowed with ourselves. We cannot afford to be mean to ourselves, because sometimes we need to give ourselves a lot of love, but we also need to give love to other people. And sometimes unloving and unkind people and cruel people need a lot more love, because that is what they are not giving to themselves, and nobody in the world is giving to them. So let's spread this light and energy of love to ourselves first and then to others. And we will see this energy grow bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger in this world. And that's it. And they give us a lot of blessings, all three of them. And they say, may you find peace within you. May you find the immense energy that you have stored in each one of your cells, which then activates itself and gives you the opportunity to realize all that you need to realize for yourself as a part of your life purpose. And they leave us with a lot of white light, golden light, green light, pink light, purple light. And that's it. They're gone.
Wow. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. How was that, everybody? Oh my goodness. That was so powerful. The light language, the channeling, the automatic writing. So the automatic writing was not you writing the words, the actual words that you were saying.
So the channeling is the words, but you can see that I have written down a whole page. So that's the automatic writing and the channeling.
Beautiful. Wow. That was really, what a message for everyone to hear, right? And really take in, to not just to hear with your ears, but really take it into your heart and implement, right? Start implementing, right? Loving yourself, loving your bodies, bringing that pink light into every cell of your being. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. And we all need a little bit of a break from time to time, right? I think that message was specifically for me. Take a break, take a break, take a break. You're a workaholic. Yeah, I know. No, that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I know that when you were doing the light language, I experienced a lot of heat in my body. And I think you mentioned that in the channeling from Buddha, that the Buddhist masters, the 17 Buddhist masters, that they had ignited the Kundalini and the root chakra to give more healing to the body, right? Something like that, from what I remember.
Yes.
So I did experience quite a lot of heat at that time, for sure. So a lot of healing. So thank you. Wow. Whew. Anybody else have any comments or questions? Or how was that for you, the process? Wow. I'm still like blown away by how easily it all came to you, Simmin, It just flowed. And your message of let it go and let it flow. That's a message I shared a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, or I don't know when it was. And that it was about that. Let it go and let it flow. You know, all those old patterns, hurts, etc. Let's let it go and let it flow.
Mm.
There was a question from Angela in the chat. And she says, each time I try automatic writing, I cannot focus long enough. I find myself getting distracted. What guidance do you have for me and any other message?
So one of the things, Angela, that you really need to calm down. You know, a lot of people fear, you know, will I get the messages? Will they flow, not flow? And just like me, if you can club automatic writing with channeling of the messages, well, that is something that's going to be extremely powerful. Initially, when the student writes, all of them are different.
Mhm.
Some of them might actually have the actual formation of words. For some others, it may just be a few jarred lines. But when you channel, that aspect of you still allows you to get the messages. So, Angela, try out this technique where there is not just automatic writing, but there is, and of course, very importantly, the moment you have the pathway towards a safe channel, just automatically the messages will start flowing. I've never had, issues where people find it difficult to get messages. Of course, there is a lot of practice involved. And the more you practice, the more clarity will come your way. So, Angela, please don't give up and continue on to this process. There are people who have written books only through the process of automatic writing and channeling. And I must share this with you as I am pursuing my doctoral thesis and my studies, my PhD. Many a times when I feel stuck, I tell, okay, masters, now I'm not getting any important creative point that will stand out, and then I just get into the process of automatic writing, and hey, I have some pointers and some guidances. So as I say, it never leaves you empty handed. Keep
Awesome.
on practicing, and hopefully you will get this.
Awesome. So, Bile, did you have a question or comment for Simmin? Because you're unmuted. I'm going to say no. Okay. And then there's a question from Devki in the chat. And she says, I have a problem to feel energy. Will I be able to channel? I know I am intuitive, but I don't get any messages. Why is this? Are there any blockages?
Yeah, so there is a possibility of there being a block, but don't worry, dear, because when we give you the attunement process, that time the entire process breaks through all these barriers, such that people just quickly start getting a huge download of information.
Yeah,
And
and so
sometimes,
is it okay if she doesn't feel energy because she doesn't sense energy?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what else were you going to say?
No, just that, sometimes there are so many messages that you're like, zzz, there is so much happening at the same time. Literal buzzing takes place.
Yeah, awesome. Randy is, where me find your picture, Randy? Okay, there it is. So Randy's saying, are you able to recognize this orb? Can you see? I'm going to see if I can, hold on one second. Are you able to, oh, where is it? I guess. Yeah, so this is Randy's picture, and he's asking if you are able to recognize this orb that's on the left-hand side here.
I'm not able to see. Do I have to search for?
No, it should be on my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I love it. It's a
orbs,
beautiful rainbow.
yeah, it's beautiful. So a lot of, one can, once I get into the mode of channeling, I can not just get you the name of this orb, but also, its purpose and why it is here and how is it that you can connect to these energies. And every time I have a class, be it offline, online, there are so many orbs that are around me and the students as well. So, you will have a lot of beautiful experiences if you opt for any one of the packages.
Awesome. And that's a beautiful orb, Randy. Yeah. Kim says, I have tried just writing, almost scribbling, but it feels fruitless. I've also tried writing as hearing a message, then writing. Do you feel that will that ever flow more easily?
Yes, the attunement process is meant for that. Like a lot of people tell me that, I take the pen and I start scribbling, and that is not, because who knows which energy are you connecting to. So we open up the safe channels and we move towards the spirit world. Once we reach there, that is where we call upon our whoever you want to communicate with, and then they will start giving you the messages. So Kim, I'll request you, please don't try this on your own, because with a lot of experience I have known this, that many a times we just might pick up on certain energy which is not good for us or our loved ones, or they might not leave your space. I don't want to scare you, but if you really want to practice this, then please do it under a professional or a teacher who will give you the attunement and open your safe pathways.
Mhm. Awesome. And then Beverly's saying, can you give me guidance about how to remove the issues / blocks that I have been experiencing with my animal communications abilities? Do you feel my animal spirit guides and what messages they're trying to give me?
So Beverly, if you book a package with me, then of course, a one-on-one, which is package D, then we can, work around this, and it would be it's such a beautiful world out there, and they have so many messages pertaining to so many aspects of your life, your physical well-being, mental, emotional, intellectual, as well as spiritual. So this is something that you must experience one-on-one. And the animal spirit world is so loving, it's so beautiful, and they are an absolute messages from them is an absolute blessing. And we have, each one of us have multiple spirit guides, animal spirit guides, and we can call for more. And sometimes I have people who say, I love penguins and bears, will they, polar bears, will they agree to be my spirit guide? And then never have I heard a no. It has always been a yes. So Beverly, I will request you to come on board, and we can one-on-one get some messages.
Awesome. I'm going to mute bio. Okay, she already did. All right. So Kim says, thank you. I look forward to joining you on package 1. Awesome. And there was another something here. 1 second. Hold on. So Angela, I got Dave. Yeah, I got Monik says, so true, Simmin. My experience with healing was amazing, and all you have done for me in other areas of your work, outstanding. Blessed to have you in my life. Linda says, I have to leave, but I have a question. If you could ask it, I'd be grateful. Please ask her. Do you see any unexpected big expenses for her this month? Get a personal reading, then you'll find out. She doesn't see anything right now. Does that mean, Linda, you're planning to do more renovations? Is that the big question? I can see that happening. Let me see if there's anything else in here. Any other comments or questions? Anybody have any questions about the packages? Again, they are available at alara.at/show /Simmin4 SIMMIN4. And of course, like I said, that if you get a packet, the personal session with Simmin, like I said before, the reading is amazing. The best reading I've ever had. Hands down. I've had a lot, a lot of readings from a lot of people, and I have to say that was one of the best, if not the best, reading. So I highly recommend that. Get package D, and if you can, definitely get package A, so that you can be empowered to do the automatic writing for yourself, to receive the channeling for yourself, and start doing it for yourself and for others, I suppose, as well. But it's more about getting these answers for yourself from your loved ones, from your guides, from your angels, from your animal helpers. Receive their messages so that you know that you are so supported, and the information is there for you. Whatever it is that you're looking for, it's there, right? It's all there, not necessarily out there, but it's also within, right? So as you're channeling, as you're doing the automatic writing, you are connecting to the field of consciousnus, the one mind, etc. But also, you can connect to source. You can connect to God. You can connect to your higher self, your soul. So it pretty much gives you like this whole support system that you can connect with and never feel like you're alone, never feel like you have to search for answers. You can just start doing the automatic writing and start channeling and get the stuff that you want. It takes practice. Yes, I get it. Right. So practice, 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 but then know that because of the attunements, you are going through like a pathway that is safe. And so you're only going to get the highest and best, highest vibration messages. Right, Simmin?
Yes, absolutely. And it's an absolutely safe process. And the more you practice, the more clearer messages will come your way. In fact, messages for yourself and your loved ones and for everyone.
So, so for the people, some of the people that have taken the training with you before, you know, generally, how long does it usually take for people to start working with the channeling and automatic writing for themselves to start getting messages?
Immediately, as soon as the attunement process is done, immediately. And that is this absolute beauty, because then there are tears flowing down and there is no looking back. I mean, in my case, we had Guru Nanak and Sai Baba, who happened to be a very, very important saints for us.
Mhm.
And those were the two energies that I connected to for the very first time. And after that, there was no looking back. There has been Jesus, and there's been Muhammad, and there's been Moses, and so much. And then it's just on and on and on.
Yeah, beautiful. I love it. So, so there is no waiting around. Once you are attuned, you can start receiving messages. Might be a little bit at the beginning, but may not. You might receive like, a lot. So just I think it's very exciting, to be able to receive messages, guidance, information, inspiration from loved ones, from our guides, to help us on our path, because this is about our lives, right? And what are we doing? Where are we going for our physical body, for some of our mental stuff that keeps coming up, right? And just also like, you can also ask, what is my purpose? Right? Like, what is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? Right? Those are the types of questions that people can ask and receive answers to during their channeling, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And more, much, much more. So please do take a look at the packages. ABC are the packages 1, 2, and 3. And then the personal session with Simmin, package D. Like I said, it's a $99, but it's a 30-minute personal session. Amazing, the stuff that comes through. And I highly recommend that. If you cannot do the training with Simmin, at least get package D so you can get a personal session, really see how amazing she is. So I highly recommend that for you all. I'm going to do another session with Simmin because I absolutely loved it. And I'm going to actually do the training too. So I will see Kim, I think. Kim, I will see you there in level 1. Because I think this is so important. And I think this is what we all need to empower ourselves to receive the information and guidance that we need to move forward on our paths, our individual paths. And then, of course, to help our loved ones, right? I was thinking today even about like my dad, Simmin, he's got some stuff going on and he's not going to call you for a session. He's just not going to. But it's like, oh, like I could get some information for him to help him, So it's like, that would be good. So just, like little, and of course my husband, as you already know, you helped me with my daughter a little while ago when she was having some issues and stuff. So, it's like, there's so much that's possible and so much that's available, right? I have 2 beautiful dogs as well. And so sometimes I wonder, what are they thinking? What are they trying to tell me, right? I'm pretty intuitive, but there are some moments where it's like, what are you trying to say? So I would love to be able to communicate even more with them as well. And I know that they have messages for me and for all of us, right? So so much more is possible. And I, check in with your heart, tap in, go back and listen to this replay, the video or the audio, and go back and listen to that channeling and listen to the light language. It was so powerful. I received so much healing from that light language and channeling. It was beautiful. So please do take that time for yourself, right? So take time for you and receive. Be willing to receive the gift that this whole call actually is for you. I loved it. Thank you, Simmin.
Thank you so much, Alara.
So any other last words of wisdom before we have to go?
So we actually have the presence of 134 master spirit guides, and before we close this session, they are all saying that whenever it is possible for you, do feed some people or some animals, because when you do that, and this is for everybody who is present on call and everybody who is going to be listening to this call, please feed either children or old people or poor people or even birds and animals, with the intention that this food is going to your ancestors and it is something that is going to help heal your entire ancestral lineage. So kindly do that. And we have 134 masters who are channeling this one message for everyone simultaneously. And thank you so much, Alara, for having me over here and having me share the wisdom that I have, or the knowledge I have, and all my lovely experiences and stories, along with a chance to sing the light language to the world, even if it means is just a little bit. So I just hope and pray that we all heal, help, and we move on in this world with a beautiful spiritual energy that we carry with us all along, even after the body is no more.
Beautiful.
Thank
Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for your questions, for your presence, for co-creating this beautiful space with us. I'm so grateful. And again, Simmin, thank you so much. This was beautiful. I loved it. I love your energy. I love working with you. So it makes me feel so good. So thank you. All right, everyone. So until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.